Hey, good people. Good to see you again. Actually, I can't see you, but you can see me. Hopefully, I'm good to see you again. You're here, aren't you? Um, I had hoped today to bring you a review, my first review and experience with the Hard Luck Kings guitar, and the fact that it didn't materialize, uh, is an issue that I would like to talk about. But before I kind of give you the story, I would like to emphasize that I will certainly give Hard Luck Kings another chance. So this is not a brush off or anything. This is just a situation that gives me rise for a little bit of concern, hoping that it will be rectified in future orders. So I ordered a Tele style guitar, not this one, but this shape, obviously, off their sale list on the Hard Luck Kings website. I've heard things about them. They're amazingly priced guitars. They're one of these budget companies I've been wanting to check out, so I finally took the plunge and bought one off their head site. Now, when I went to buy it, I had the opportunity to add a setup, which they charge, I don't know, $39, $49. I can't remember what the price was, but it's somewhere around there. And I didn't select it. Why would I? I mean, I kind of do it for a living, and I'm comfortable with setting up guitars. I realized that for someone buying a guitar for the first time, or just a player wanting to check out a guitar, it might be worth spending the extra money for the setup. But a lot of guitar players can do their own setups, so there's always going to be situations where people don't opt or take that option in buying guitar. More on that in a minute, because that's an important thing that's going to come up. So I bought the guitar, and it took a few days to get here. It was competently packed. It was in one of those shaped boxes that is surrounded by polystyrene all the way, so the guitar was sort of cradled in there, which is better than a lot of companies, so that was good. When I got the guitar out, it felt okay, but there were a couple of buzzes on the A string around the 9th and 12th fret, somewhere around here on the guitar, right in this region. So I checked the relief. Relief was fine. I checked for high frets. No high frets. Action was really high, so I couldn't take it down because the buzzes got worse. And I monkeyed with it for a good half hour, 45 minutes. And then I realized that I think there may be something wrong with the radiusing on the fretboard. Certainly, it was not something that could be adjusted out, and there were no high frets to take down. There was no need for leveling and recrowning. Normally that's the situation, but it wasn't that. I got tired of messing with it. It didn't correct. I felt like I had a defective guitar. For the price I paid with it, I'd just rather send it back and get another one. When I went on the website, the return thing didn't seem easy to navigate, so I ended up calling the company, and I got a hold of what seemed to be the owner of the company. I know this from reading other student accounts, of how they were responded to, and it was exactly the same as what I got. So I talked to the owner of the guitar company. I explained to him the situation, and his immediate response was, well, hey, we don't ship these out to get them back. We hardly ever get returns, which is a red flag right away. I mean, even if that's true, that shouldn't be your first response to a customer. It should not be your first response. We hardly ever get returns. What's going on with the guitar? And I explained again. I explained who I am and what I do. Not with this channel. I just explained that I work on guitars, and it wasn't one of the usual situations. It was something a little deeper. And he kind of sneeringly said, "Oh, you're a luthier, eh? Well, you've got a couple of days. So I'm sure you'll figure it out before the call tag comes. We'll take it back, but you got a couple of days before the call tag will arrive, so I'm sure you'll figure it out. And I said, well, I'm not returning the guitar because I can't set it up. I'm returning the guitar because it appears to be defective. But he wouldn't, he sort of wouldn't let go of the fact he was definitely insinuating that it was my fault. And then he asked me, no, and then we ended our conversation. I said, well, you're sending a call tag? Yeah. Okay, I'll wait for that and I'll send it back. Are you going to send me a replacement? No, you can just buy another one if you want one. We'll just send a call tag. And this never happens. We never get returns, but I guess we'll take it back. I'm sure that we can fix the guitar. I'm sure it's a quick fix. He kept insinuating that I was the problem. And then he calls me back about 5 minutes later and he says, oh, I see you didn't order the setup. And I said, no, I explained that to you twice. And why would I? I set up guitars. That's what I do. He goes, well, maybe next time you'll order the setup. And I said, why would I order a setup? Why would I? There's no reason for me to do that. Why would I spend $40, $50 extra dollars? And then I thought, after hanging up the phone on him, I don't like this policy at all. Why can't this company be more like Orangewood? All right, Orangewood, you buy a guitar and they set up every one of their guitars they ship out, so they claim, and it's included in the sale price. Same with Thomann. They set up a guitar before it leaves Germany and it's included. You don't pay extra for a setup. That's ludicrous. So what are you saying? If you don't pay the setup fee, you're going to send me a defective guitar? You're going to send me a problem guitar? That's not good customer service. That's not a good policy. I like the fact that you'll do a setup on your guitar, but just do it on all of them and include it in your sale price. Don't make people pay extra to get the quality they should be getting when they buy one of your guitars in the first place. So that kind of annoys me. It really annoys me. And the fact that he used that as a wedge, like if you would have bought the setup, we wouldn't be in this situation. Which is, was very dismissive of both me and a bit condescending as well. So that's the situation I'm in now. The guitar went back. I have no idea how long they'll stall me on the refund, and I'm thinking about whether I want to buy another model. I will eventually, but I'm a little bit, PO'd about this treatment. So I went online and did some combing around, and I found two things. I can't remember the name of the website. If I find it, I'll put the link in the description. But the first thing I found was a guitar chat site. It might be have been Fender or Squire or something like that. And there was a chat thread, and somebody said, hey, anybody else having problems with Hard Luck Kings? I keep saying Little Kings, which is a beer company. Anybody having a problem with Hard Luck Kings? This was my experience. I got a guitar, I just couldn't correct it. I had trouble with the guy in returning it. I'll never deal with this company again. And then there were 2 or 3 other people that chimed in with similar issues, and one even recounted a conversation they had with the owner, which was a lot similar to the one I had. So this has happened before, and these people have sought to return guitars. And then about the middle of the thread, there were 2 or 3 entries where people just, bragged about what a great company, what a great experience they had, and how perfect their guitars were and how they'll buy from them lots of times. And then the normal guys came on the thread after those entries and said, that's weird. These people, signed up for a membership, posted one thing about how great the company is, and then we never hear from them again. These must be plants, or this may be Hard Luck Kings themselves, logging in and trying to restore their reputation, because this is, obviously a guitar chat site that attracts a lot of guitarists, and of course they don't want the bad reputation going out to too many people. I don't know if that's true or not, but it certainly was a bit suspect anyway. So that was the first example, and of course the people on those threads must have returned those guitars. So the claim that we never get returns immediately is a problem. I don't know who's right in this situation. I just think it's a bit fishy. And then the second thing I found was on Amazon. There are actually reviews of Hard Luck King guitars on Amazon that appear not to be sold on there anymore. And I read through some of the reviews of guitars that used to be sold on Amazon, and there were a lot of complaints, including the kinds of things like, yeah, I got the guitar, I took it to a luthier, they couldn't set it up, they couldn't figure it out, I had to send it back. I got in a tiff with the company, I'll never buy from them again. Another guy made a claim, this is why Hard Luck Kings doesn't sell guitars on Amazon anymore, because they had so many problems and so many returns. They just went to a direct sale model. And somebody else said this is why they're all sold on sale. They have an MSRP price, but they just blow them all out because they're all kind of suspect. And then there were other people that were on there, to be fair, that say, for the money, I got a great guitar. It was I'll buy from these guys all the time. It's an incredible deal. You have to do a bit of setup, but for the money, I think they're great guitars. So all that I keep in mind, and indeed they may be good guitars, and this was just a bad start in dealing with the company, or the company has a little bit of a suspect customer service model. The guy was very defensive. It didn't sound like a guy that didn't have to deal with returns all the time. It sounded like a guy that worked really hard to try and put returns off, or put the onus on somebody else to take care of the problem. But I will at some point give them another chance. It might be right away. I would love to review one or two of their guitars on this site. And I mentioned to the guy that I am a YouTuber and I do reviews, and he just said great. So there wasn't any further conversation about that. There was, he didn't look to remedy the situation or anything like that. It's, well, we'll take it back, we'll fix it and send it back out. Obviously, you're not a luthier, because otherwise you'd be able to fix it, type of attitude. And then he said, if you can just buy what you want. Instead of me sending a return, you can just buy what you want, which is a bit odd, but that's the way they deal with things. And I think Guitar Fetish is a little bit along those lines too. I've had similar treatment from them, which makes me a little bit reluctant to go back and do more business with them, and their complete unwillingness to do combined shipping. And that's the other thing. The Hard Luck Kings, they have good prices on their guitars, but boy, they whack you for $60, $70 per guitar to ship. So just little things that put me off, to the point where I thought it was worth a video to put out there to see if anybody else has bought Hard Luck Kings guitars and had any issues. If you've had to return them, what was the situation like? Maybe some of you can chime in and let me know what your experience was. And I'm sure there are a lot of good ones, and I'm sure there are a lot of people that like the guitars that they got. That's not the issue here. My issue is purely the treatment that I received in dealing with them for the first time. I'm hoping that I will get another guitar and there won't be an issue, but I am not buying their setup. I refuse, because I don't think, if somebody buys a guitar from them and they don't select the setup, that doesn't mean they should get a defective guitar shipped to them because they didn't buy the setup. That was the impression I got from the owner, the person that answered the phone. I think that's wrong. If you buy a setup, it should be dialed in, nicely. But if you don't buy the setup, you should still get a good working guitar that you can then set up yourself. So there's my first situation with Hard Luck Kings. I know I've rambled on, but it kind of rankled me a little bit. So I thought to make a video about the experience, and hopefully the next one I make about Hard Luck Kings will be a lot more positive, and I'll have good things to say about them. And I'm not making any declarations as to their products. This is purely a customer service issue that I'm highlighting here. Anyway, folks, see you on the next video.